Okay. Morning, everyone, and welcome to our annual Memorial Day service. Uh, this is probably we started in 2000, so we've been doing this for quite a long time at this particular memorial. And the crowd gets larger every year, which is great. One thing you'll notice is the area out here is absolutely beautiful. Public Works, Susan Dolinar did a terrific job. If anyone's been up to the library lately, you'll notice that where you're sitting now, there's tables, there's chairs, and it's just a nice place to come to relax. I want to thank Mr. Thompson and the band who's always here for us. Top 21's here to do the national anthem. We do have a couple guests. We have in our audience, Judge Arnone is somewhere up here. Devlin Robinson, our senator, I don't know if he left or not, and County Counsel Tom Dewar. So at this time, I would like to introduce Bethel Park High School Top 21 to do the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of
This time I'd like to introduce Reverend Jack Puskar from the Sons of the American Legion.
Welcome, everyone. Join me in prayer. Almighty God, on this Memorial Day, we come before you, the Creator of all, to remember those who bravely served our country and were called home. We ask you for your blessing upon the souls of those good men and women who gave their last breath in defense of our nation, our freedom, and our children's future. We also ask you to bless everyone gathered here today and grant us the strength to rise to the challenges of our time and meet them in full faith that you will always be with us. May we glorify you in all that we do, Lord, today and every day. Amen.
Good morning and welcome, everybody. I also would like to acknowledge member of council. There you go. Good morning and welcome, everybody. I'd also like to acknowledge member of council that are here today: Joe Consolmagno, Lindsay Flynn, John Oakes, and Mark O'Brien. I'd also like to thank the Veterans Memorial Committee for all the work they did to make this place so nice today. the engravers, our flag sponsorship. This just doesn't happen. There's a lot of time and effort in addition to what our public works does. I'm also here representing the Bethel Park Historical Society, and each year would like to highlight a veteran that's on, actually a Civil War veteran this year, that's on the front stone. And that's Sergeant Wilson McCulley, a Civil War veteran. Born in 1839 in Snowden, Allegheny County, PA, to William and Christina McCulley. Snowden is now partially Bethel Park and partially Upper St. Clair. Wilson lived with his parents and siblings, Sarah, John, Margaret, Mary, and James, and attended Bethel Academy, Bethel's first school. On July 25th, 1861, he enlisted into the Army's Pennsylvania 62nd Infantry, Company H, as a corporal in the Civil War for the Union at age 21. His physical description on his veteran's card lists him as having light hair, gray eyes, fair complexion, 5 foot 10.5 inches tall, and a member of Bethel Presbyterian Church. On September 30th, 1862, he was promoted to sergeant. We believe Sergeant McCulley participated in the following battles: the Battle of Fredericksburg, Virginia, the first campaign of the Mud March, which had 258 losses from his infantry, the expedition to Richard and Ellis Ford's Rappahannock River. He mustered out of the Army when he was killed in action on January 13th, 1863 in Falmouth, Virginia. Today we recognize Sergeant Wilson McCulley and thank him for his service to our country. At this time, the Bethel Park High School Top 21 Chorus.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet who stern impassioned stress, a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God judge thy every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring. Oh, beautiful for patriot's dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with
Does it get any better than that? What an honor for me today. I'll be introducing our guest speaker, but first, just a little story. The Veterans Memorial Committee and volunteers that showed up to help, I have such gratitude for that. And me, on the day of it, I spilled a giant, extra large Dunkin' Donut coffee on the granite, and before I got to it, it dried. So I really didn't know what to do. I tried so much to get the stains out. So after the council meeting, I was leaving. I said, John Oakes, councilman, I said, do you know of anything that takes coffee out of granite? And I didn't hear back from him. And then I showed up for the meeting on Saturday, and I thought we had a miracle because the stain was gone. I thought God intervened, but it was John Oakes. He came on his own time and got the right, and I thank you, John, for that, because it's important that this is done correctly. Wow, this young man, he grew up with my son and my daughter. He was their friends. I used to watch them go off to play paintball in the wee hours of the morning with big smiles on their face, and then when they came back, tell me of their escapades and show me their bruises. They had a lot of fun, and Jorge's family, wow, just the best you could ever imagine. The way they treated my children and their generosity, I can't tell you enough. It's the only thing when Dan used to come back from a day at Jorge's house, he'd say, wow, that salsa was hot, and everyone was laughing at me because I couldn't eat it. So it's just wonderful to bring home a young man who served his country and have him here today to honor us with our guest speaker. So Jorge Zarate was born in September 1991 in Bellflower, California, to his parents Jose and Olivier Zarate. He has two younger sisters and an older brother. Jorge moved to Bethel Park around the age of 13 and graduated from Bethel Park High School in 2009. After Horse High School, Jorge joined the Army Reserves when he was 17. He went into basic in Fort Leonard, Missouri, completed military police training, and was assigned to the 307th MP Company in New Kensington, Pennsylvania. And then he was deployed to Afghanistan in the Nangarhar region. He went on to complete advanced leadership courses for his promotion to the rank of sergeant. When he left the military in 2016, he started his police career working initially part-time in Ohio Township, Lincoln Borough, and Avalon. In 2017, he was hired by the city of Pittsburgh, where he worked there until he was hired by the municipality of Bethel Park in January 2022. His hobbies include Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, and lifting. It is my honor this morning to introduce Bethel Park policeman, Army veteran, Bethel Park's own, Sergeant Jorge Zarate.
Good morning, everybody. Try to make this quick and painless for everybody as possible, and we'll get through this together, right? So I'd like to thank everyone for coming to the Bethel Park Memorial Day celebration for this day of remembrance. I would like to extend my gratitude to the Chief of Police, my parents, and Mr. O'Brien for providing me with this opportunity to speak on this special day. I would like to start by giving everyone a short background on what led me down the path to becoming a veteran. My family, as you heard, moved to Bethel Park when I was about 13. I was attending Independence Middle School and learned history from Mr. Baumgartner. Mr. Baumgartner assigned us a project during the school year to speak with a World War II veteran. As you can probably guess, I didn't really know anybody my age, let alone a veteran, coming from California. So I told myself I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to completely skip the project. I didn't fly with Mr. Baumgartner. He was very tough. And I was grateful for it because my mom was able to help me locate a veteran from World War II. He ended up being my neighbor. He served in the Navy during World War II. Yeah, I only got to hear a few stories from him, but the few stories that I did get to hear, it really opened up my eyes to the experience and the lifestyle that people live when they join the military. So a few years go by. I'm a senior in high school. Everyone's talking about what college they're going to go to. I already knew I was going to go to the Army. I was going to go to active, but my brother, who was already in active duty military, said, no, go to college. So I joined the reserves to go to college, so I can attend college. So I graduate, I go get deployed, not get deployed, but I get assigned to go to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri to complete, where I learned to become a military police officer and a soldier. A short while later, I was on my way back on leave between, I had 2 weeks off between basic and AIT. I saw somebody that I was getting deployed with. She told me then we were deploying to Afghanistan. This was about a year or so prior. So we get deployed, Afghanistan, Nangarhar region, specifically a little place called Shinwar, Afghanistan. I was a gunner there, and you have a lot of time to think of the turret while you're watching everything go by. And I'd constantly ask myself, what did I get myself into? Why am I here? Why did I do this? And then I came home on leave from my deployment. I was at a barbecue with my family, and I was watching everyone sitting around enjoying the party. Then it hit me. This is why I enlisted. I enlisted for the family and all the other families so they can enjoy this peaceful time without having to worry about the problems of the world. I think as veterans, we joined for various reasons as citizens of this nation. I believe that there is one solid reason we join, though, and that is to protect our families and our loved ones. Lost my place. There it is. And without the individuals who have paid the ultimate price, no one, not even myself, would be standing here today. So as our days, weeks, and months go on, let us not forget who those made the ultimate sacrifice protecting us. Let us honor them by continuing to live our lives by setting a better example for our current and future generations. Let us remember what they fought and died for. Let us honor them by remembering they are the reasons why we still have one of the greatest countries in the world. To my fellow veterans, our duty is not done. We have to ensure future generations understand the importance of Memorial Day by educating our families and friends on the significance of this day. If they don't want to listen, encourage them to look on their phones and iPads. Everybody has them, right? It is our duty to continue to remember the fallen as well. It is a heavy burden to bear, but if we share that burden, it will lighten it for the rest of us and all. With that being said, thank you all again for having me, and thank you for listening. Please enjoy the rest of the day with your family and loved ones.
As you know, every year we place new veterans' names on our monument. This year we have two names that were placed, and that is Edward Joseph Roth, United States Army, and Clifford L. Fair, II, United States Air Force. At this time, I'd like to bring Sergeant Zarate back for the reading of the names of Bethel Park's fallen heroes from the American Revolution till today.
Thank you. We're going to start with the American Revolution, War of 1812. James Fife, Wilson McCully, Johnson Gilfillan. From the Civil War, Samuel Morgan Adams, David Crum, Thomas Epsy, James E. Fife, Israel P. Holtz, David Forbes Morrow, James J.S. Phillips, Thomas C. Wilson, World War I, James R. Naylor, That's it. That's the only name on the list, which is a good thing. World War II. William Burktek, Charles Coates, Andy Cost, Frank J. Daly, Frank Francisco, Ralph Gillyford, Richard G. Gates, Raymond Cagley, Joseph Leroy Kirby, Gerald Knaus, Robert E. Landu, Frank Mascheknik, Masenic, thank you, Earl Meadville, James Parker, Andrew Partika, Louis Pushnik, Ronald L. Robinson, William Sayangna, Lawrence Snovak, George Stovach, Philip Tochi, W. Tokolewski, Andrew Urbis, Jacob Urbis, August Vihar, George Wasko. Korean War. Edward Rux, Vietnam War. Leo John Kelly III, Jeffrey M. Walsh, Charles M. Swain, and then Operation Iraqi Freedom, Russell Kurtz. Thank you.
At this time, we'll have the placing of the wreath. Again, we're going to employ Sergeant Zarate and our own Haya Eason, veteran, United States Marine Corps.
Give me a whole line. Like, give me the whole line. Yeah. Both of you guys close your eyes just a little bit. Slow down. Dave, good. Okay. Yeah, Chris, close your eyes. Whoa. ND filter. Big on the slot. You know where it is, a little knob on the left.
At this time, we'll have the playing of taps from the Bethel Park High School senior trumpeters. This concludes the Bethel Park Memorial Day celebration. Thank you all for coming. We do have another ceremony in the cemetery right after the parade and hope to see you all there. So thank you very much.